Sukuna gut-checked Maki with his first and only Black Flash on International Women's Day. The worst part of this is that his curse energy output just went right back up. Any chance they had of killing this man went right out the window when the villain forces himself to become the main character. Now, I don't advocate for putting your hands on women, but let me land. In regards to Maki, I feel like she falls into the category of it is what it is, timing. Maki and Sukuna are going at it this entire chapter, and based on this exchange, I guess this is probably the closest we gonna get to scaling how Toji would perform if he was to actually fight Sukuna. Toji is getting dog walked. If we talking like a unbattle damaged Sukuna and an unbattled damaged Toji getting whooped. That's an easy W. Yo, so it turns out whenever I look at my YouTube analytics, a lot of people who actually watch my videos are actually from my YouTube recommendations. Now, if you're new to the channel and you like this kind of content, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button too. Thanks. Sukuna's mentality and the scale in which he operates at revolves around the notion of not needing love or actually having any sentimental attachment. So in regards to Gojo and Kashimo, they try to exist being the strongest of their time while trying to relate to others. And I mean, that's an impossibility. You can't be the best at something and then also be able to relate to those around you. It's like trying to look left and right at the same time. Unless you have complete mastery over your chakra and you've now discovered the ability to make a shadow clone, well, unfortunately for the rest of us who are just regular humans, that's not possible. Having mastery over your craft to the extent where you are the best puts you in a position where others who also see themselves as the best will put themselves in a position where they will attempt to challenge you because they also think that they are just as great, just to fall like everybody else. But once you best those individuals, there's a deep sense and a deep lurking loneliness that comes from being within that corner. Others can try to relate to you, but you cannot relate to them. So you can't really exist in its entirety within that space that you operate in. You can only really exert yourself or be yourself to an extent. So if we bring this in the context of battle, you can't go all out. Long story short, if you was a Saiyan, it'd be game over. You'd end up being a man in an orange jumpsuit, only pulling up on his kids whenever he wants to box. Now, with regards to Sukuna, Sukuna believes that you don't need those sentimental attachments and you're actually better off without it. Sukuna has completely washed those who claim to be the strongest and those who have been told that they could be the strongest. If we talking candidates, it's really Gojo, Kashimo, and Okotsu. Now, Kashimo, I was gonna let you slide, but let's keep it a whole buck here. You was talking a little too much. Sukuna at this point is just way too strong, especially when we gauge what he's been through throughout this entire battle. It makes me actually sit here and think that much harder about how much further ahead he stands above Gojo. When him and Gojo went at it, Gojo was doing a lot of trash talking like, all right, like, I mean, you cool and all, but you was him, but you're not that guy no more. And man, we all know how that ended. He fought Gojo, put him in the ground. Fought Kashimo, put him in the ground. Choso, Ino, Higuruma, Maki, Okotsu, put them all in the ground. Yuji too. I mean, Yuji looked like he about to make that comeback. With the way this chapter ended, might end up putting him in the ground too. Okotsu took a slash from Sukuna, and at this moment now, with the way Rika was running, he is definitely done. Like, I definitely think he's done. Like, his time and his role in this whole final battle is definitely done. Uraume knows Sukuna to the extent where she can tell how excited he is based on the frequency of his cursed energy. And based how he moving right now, he not going all out. Sukuna right now is fighting Maki while trying to heal himself, and he's also trying to force his heart to continue beating, and he labels this as he's not even breaking a sweat. Nah, this man is built different. On top of that, his cursed energy has been reduced to basically half. Probably the same amount as Okotsu, and I'm pretty sure Okotsu has double what Gojo actually has. Sukuna, while taking blows from Yuji, has had his curse output constantly reduced. where basically he's just a fifth of a man. I can't really quantify the fractions, but I mean, long story short, he has way less. So it turns out Kusakabe is actually the strongest grade 1 sorcerer. This is outside of the 3 great families. Like, as just a regular human, like, he'd be like the Ant-Man in the Avengers. He's like the strongest Ant-Man in a make sense type of way. That probably made no sense. If we talking like the Z-list Avengers, like Ant-Man or Hawkeye, he's basically the strongest. Then again, I'm not really surprised. He low-key moves like Shikamaru, portrayed as dangerously lazy but a secret genius. I feel like this moment will be his Shikamaru versus Tamari moment. He seems like the underdog, but he performs a lot better than we actually think. He's had a couple scuffles here and there, but we don't really know what he can actually do. To be honest, this is a matter of opinion from Gojo, Nanami, and Meimei. And not to discredit Nanami and Meimei, but Gojo is more than qualified enough to be able to scale who is actually the strongest. Not saying Nanami and Meimei can't, but I mean, if Gojo's saying it, then he not playing. Kusakabe kind of hit me as the guy who probably has the most amazing business product, but his marketing is trash because right now, as he stands behind Sukuna, he seems like the guy who gonna be like, oh, wait, we losing? All right, let me get back to you real quick. He low-key seems like the guy who gonna run to the bathroom the moment y'all ask for the bill at a group dinner. Like, he'll pay if he has to, but if he don't have to, he not paying. He's definitely a dark horse, but he's definitely getting washed by Sukuna. I definitely think we're going to see a lot from him next chapter, but I think Yuji's going to intervene also to the point where he's not going to die. He'll probably do a little damage on Sukuna, where Sukuna's like, oh, all right, so you may have some potential, like you low-key like Higuruma. But I think Yuji's going to intervene and then they're going to run it back again. Till this day, we haven't really seen him fight or go all out, and he does have Nanami's blade, which has been imbued with his technique, so we can add that to his moveset. So right now, everything seems to be sitting on Kusakabe. I'm actually real invested at this point because he's stronger than Todo and Nanami. Todo just bullied Hanami. Him and Yuji ran one of the best fades in Jujutsu Kaisen. Unpopular opinion, I low-key think Todo could have taken Hanami 1v1. That 1v1 would have been cold. And I mean, Todo, he just straight hands and he boxing. And I mean, he is him. He is him. That fade that they ran against Mahito, I mean, I know Todo lost his technique, but nah, Todo is not to be played with. And they scaling Kusakabe above that. Okay, all right, you know what? The stage has been set and I'm ready to get my socks blown off. Nanami stands on business. Go ask Shigemo. I really need to see how Kusakabe scales in comparison to that. Yuji is in the process of healing and Choso is with him, so he can actually use his reverse curse technique a lot better or more efficiently. So I don't think he'll be out for too long. And I think once Yuji comes back, Choso not gonna sit there and stand on the sideline. So they'll probably run a 3-on-1. Yuji is getting stronger, but with Sukuna right now claiming that he's not even breaking the sweat, he got a long way to go before he's ready for that 1v1. Because we know how this is going down. Sukuna and Yuji will be going at it 1v1. Sukuna and Maki are going at it, and he throws her into a building. And with the way things are drawn, he throws into a building, he speed blitzes her, cuts her off in the hallway, and then hits her with a cleave and dismantle. Ino tries to sneak Sukuna. My man, why are you lurking? Let's keep it a whole buck here. I genuinely thought that you had died. This guy got more screen time in this fight than Kashimo, and Kashimo is supposedly one of the strongest. That ain't it. Out of everyone Sukuna's actually fought within Gojo, Kashimo, Okotsu, everybody who's had dangerously high talent, even Higuruma, he was the most excited to actually fight Maki, because the fight with Maki is really a case of an entity that has no jujutsu versus an entity that has jujutsu, where Maki's body has no curse energy and has thrown that away for a ridiculous buff in physical attributes versus somebody who's crafted their jujutsu. So at this point, is Sukuna best Maki at this point? It just shows to him that, hey, you know what? I mean, I'm glad you threw that away, but I mean, you probably shouldn't. Under this circumstance, I guess this is what Sukuna would see as true detachment from, I guess, earthly desires. The outcome of the fight would pretty much declare what would be worth investing into, either going for a heavenly restriction or refining your cursed energy. I mean, the body's nice, but clearly not that nice. In that moment with the exchange with Maki, Sukuna stops using his reverse curse technique to heal, and he hits Maki with his one and only black flash. Ah, yeah, she's done. She's out. She has to be out. Like, she's genuinely done. She's definitely out. 100%. Kusakabe's left, Choso's there, and Yuji's currently healing. And right now, Sukuna stocks are back up. I mean, they've been up, but they up a lot higher now. This is probably the worst case scenario. I don't even know what to say at this point. But regardless, I mean, that's all for me. Let me know your thoughts below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler at y'all later, man. Peace.